I was very fortunate throughout my childhood to grow up on well water, which is water straight from the ground, from an underground aquifer, unfiltered, pretty much like Mother Nature intended it. But I moved into my house in 2009 and I made a huge mistake. Like a lot of people, I started drinking tap water. And I knew the water tasted different when I started consuming it because it had that really strong chlorine taste and smell to it. And it never really sat well with me, but I was paying for city water. It was there, it was convenient, so I drank it. You know, at the time I was bodybuilding and stuff. I was doing the gallon jugs of water every single day, drinking at least a gallon to a gallon and a half of water. I was traveling a lot during that time as well. And I was going city to city, drinking water, you know, in the hotel rooms and stuff straight out of the tap. And over the years, I consumed a substantial amount of tap water. And if you really think about that, I was consuming a gallon to a gallon and a half a day. So within a single year's time, I was consuming 400-500 gallons of water. And when you consider our body is 60% water, it makes sense that the water you're putting in there is going to play a huge role in your overall health. Because when it comes down to it, just like with food, our bodies are a direct reflection of the things we put in it. Input equals output. It's really as simple as that. And I consumed this tap water for a solid 8 or 9 years straight, and that is a lot of water. And the stuff that's in the water, a lot of that stuff is bioaccumulative, which means every single time I was consuming that tap water, that stuff was building up in my body. Every single time. And our bodies are very resilient. We're extremely good at detoxing certain things, but when these things are building up in our bodies through repeated exposure, because we keep exposing ourselves to this stuff, it's eventually a house of cards that is going to fall. And looking back on that now, I can say with 100% certainty that my consumption of tap water played a significant role in my health being completely destroyed. And there were indicators that that was happening. And thinking about it now, just like with hyper-processed food where you don't really feel satisfied after you eat it and you're still kind of craving more, I never really felt fully satisfied or hydrated when I would consume tap water. The difference between now and then, because I'm back on drinking water from an underground aquifer, is complete night and day. I do not require as much water, even if I'm outside sweating in the sun. And when I drink this unfiltered well water, I just feel better. I feel hydrated. I feel like it is actually fulfilling a requirement in my body instead of feeling like there's some sort of detriment or harm that's happening. So when it comes to optimizing your health, in my opinion, diet, nutrition is the very top of the list. That's always going to be number one. But I would say the second thing, and the thing that is probably the most overlooked, is water. I think water plays a significant role in our overall health. And if you're consuming the wrong type of water, if you're consuming tap water, I think there's a really good chance that that is having a very negative impact on your health, especially over the long term. And while I'm a huge advocate for the carnivore diet, and I think it is an absolutely phenomenal tool for overcoming a plethora of chronic conditions, I don't know that you'll ever discover the true potential of the diet unless you remove yourself from tap water and drink non-toxic water that's not actively poisoning you every time you consume it. So if you really want to unlock the true healing potential of the carnivore diet, I think removing yourself from tap water and drinking real water that is not toxic and full of all this bad, harmful stuff is probably the best way to do that.